Have you ever worked with a client who keeps replaying the same moment in their mind over and over? They tell the story repeatedly. They revisit the conversation. They imagine what they would have said differently. They replay the last moments of a loved one's life. They revisit a breakup, a betrayal, a loss. And no matter how much insight they gain, the loop continues. Many practitioners assume that this is simply rumination or unresolved emotion. But what if something deeper is actually happening? What if the nervous system is trying to complete something that was never fully processed the first time? Today, we're going to explore why emotional replay happens and why understanding this pattern is essential for practitioners, especially for practitioners who are supporting people through grief, trauma, and major life transitions. If you are new to my channel, my name is Tina Brigitini. I am the founder of Brigitini Energy School, where we train practitioners in energy therapy, hypnosis, nervous system regulation, and coherence based coaching methods. Now, much of my work focuses on helping practitioners understand how emotional experience becomes stored within the nervous system. Because many of the challenges that our clients face are not simply psychological, they are physiological responses and that the body has not yet fully integrated. And one of the clearest examples of this is emotional replay loops. If you have worked with clients who have experienced grief, trauma, or emotionally overwhelming situations, you have probably seen this pattern. The client tells you about the moment everything changed. Maybe it was the moment that they received difficult news, the moment someone passed away, the moment a relationship ended, or the moment they realized something in their life would never be the same again. And even months or years later, that moment still feels vivid, alive, present, almost as though it happened yesterday. From the outside, it can seem like the client is choosing to stay stuck in the story. But from a nervous system perspective, something very different is happening. The nervous system is designed to process experiences in real time. So when something happens, the body reacts, energy mobilizes, emotions rise. The system moves through a cycle of activation and then resolution. But when an experience is too overwhelming, the system may not complete that cycle. The moment becomes frozen in memory, not just mentally, but physically within the body. The heart rate, the breath, muscle tension, hormonal responses. All of these responses may become associated with that particular moment. So when the brain recalls the memory, the nervous system begins recreating the same physiological state. And this is why emotional memories can feel so intense. The body is not just remembering, it is re experiencing. Replay loops often occur when the nervous system is trying to make sense of something that felt incomplete. Maybe the person did not have time to say goodbye. Maybe they wish they had handled something differently. Maybe the loss happened suddenly, or maybe the emotional impact was simply too great for the body to process all at once. So the nervous system begins revisiting the moment. They're attempting to resolve it. They're trying to understand it, trying to integrate it. Unfortunately, because the nervous system is still dysregulated, the replay often keeps the body in the same emotional state rather than completing the cycle. So the loop continues. And one of the most frustrating experiences for clients is when they intellectually understand something, but the emotional loop continues. They may say things like, I know that there was nothing I could do. I understand why it happened. I know I shouldn't keep thinking about this. And yet the replay continues. And this happens because the mind and the nervous system process experiences differently. The mind can reach understanding much faster, but the nervous system requires physiological safety and regulation before it can release a stored response. So until the body feels safe enough to let go, the loop may remain active. When practitioners begin viewing emotional replay through the lens of nervous system patterns, several things become clearer. First, the client is not intentionally holding on to the pain. Their body is trying to process unfinished emotional energy. Second, pushing the client to stop thinking about the experience rarely works because the loop is not only happening in the mind, it's happening in the body. And third, helping the nervous system return to coherence reduces the intensity of the replay naturally. And this is where regulation practices, hypnosis, breath work, energy based approaches can become incredibly helpful. They help the nervous system shift out of the survival state that keeps the loop active. Now, one of the most powerful shifts that practitioners can make is moving from trying to stop the story to helping the body feel safe enough to release it. So when the nervous system begins regulating, the emotional intensity decreases. The body no longer needs to recreate the same physiological response. And gradually, the memory becomes something that the client can reflect on without reliving it. And this is the difference between remembering and re experiencing. It is one of the most important distinctions practitioners can understand. I would actually love to hear from those of you who are watching, who are working with clients in grief, trauma, hospice care, coaching, or therapy. Have you noticed this pattern of emotional replay with the people that you work with? Do your clients often return to the same moment over and over again? If so, feel free to share your observations in the comments. I read all the comments on the channel, and it's always fascinating to me to hear what practitioners are noticing in their work. Your experience may also help someone who is also learning to navigate this pattern with their clients. The field of healing is changing. More practitioners are beginning to recognize that emotional patterns are deeply connected to nervous system responses. We are moving beyond purely cognitive models of healing and toward approaches that support the body's regulation and integration. And when we understand this, we become more patient with the healing process. Our clients begin feeling something many of them have not felt in a long time: relief, because they realize that they're not broken. Their nervous system is just trying to protect them. If there is one thing that I hope that you take away from today's conversation, it's this: when clients replay emotional moments repeatedly, it's not because they're being stubborn or resistant. It is often because the nervous system is asking for completion and regulation. And when practitioners understand how to support that process, healing becomes far more possible. Now, if you're a practitioner interested in learning more about working with the nervous system and coherence in your own healing work, go ahead and find the link to Bridgetini Energy School down in the description. And if you're enjoying this series on nervous system coherence for practitioners, make sure that you subscribe and like. That way you won't miss the next video. Because next we're going to explore something that many practitioners encounter, but they don't receive necessarily the training on why clients remain emotionally stuck after years of therapy or coaching, and what nervous system patterns may be contributing to that experience. I look forward to continuing this conversation with you. Blessings to you, Tina Bridgetini.